Kayla Clark is not hurt. Allegedly, it looked like Kayla Clark is 100% ready to go. Caitlin changed the dynamic of basketball. Not just, oh, she changed our team. She changed all of basketball. Like, the fact that she's willing to admit that. After one of the Felines' victories, Caitlin Clark got on Instagram and said, "Refs couldn't stop us." Could Kane Clark actually be coming back if the Indiana Fever make the finals? If the team already has someone under contract, but inactive, such as a maternity leave suspension, or the injury list, in which case 2 minutes ago. Caitlin Clark's insane practice routine just shocked everyone. She looks unstoppable, and the internet can't stop talking about it. Haters don't. Miss what comes next? Like, subscribe and share for more WNBA stories. So already into this thing, 17 seconds, you clearly see Caitlin Clark is able to put pressure on her ankle. She's able to put pressure on that groin. She looked ready to go. Already into this thing, you clearly see Caitlin Clark is able to put pressure on her ankle and groin. She looks ready to go, proving through this practice that she's prepared for a comeback. Now, granted, to the organization defense, this isn't a contact-type drill. So we haven't seen any contact of Caitlin yet on the court, but this is pretty convincing, guys. I just got to be honest, this is pretty convincing that Kane Clark is ready to go, bro. She's ready to go. And then you bring in Caitlin, who changed the world, changed the dynamic of basketball. Even her training presence has shifted the way the Fever and fans see the game. And then you bring in Caitlin, who changed the world, changed the dynamic of basketball, and as a friend and mean to be fair, I think this Fever team, not that they're egoist, you can't really be egoless as a pro player. After one of the Fever's big wins, Caitlin Clark got on Instagram and said, "Refs couldn't stop us." That bold energy from her practice routine shows why haters just can't handle her confidence. That was all she said. Now, in fairness to the WNBA, I can understand why you would find Caitlin Clark as a sports league, even a pretend sports league like the WNBA. You don't want your players talking about league officials. Could Caitlin Clark actually be coming back if the Indiana Fever make the finals? Her workout drills sparked this very question across the internet, fueling excitement about her return. You saw this post here. I got tagged in it by Caitlin Clark for 3, and it says, "According to this, there seems to be a legitimate pathway for Caitlin Clark to be activated. If true, I would be so happy." Under the current CBA, once a team submits his playoff roster at the end of the regular season, it's essentially locked for the postseason. The league's hardship and 7-day contract rules ends in the regular season does. So, a team can't sign or replace a player, pick someone up off the street once playoff begin. If Caitlin Clark comes back, this will be epic and pretty much guarantee winning the championship. That belief is driven by how dominant she looks in her recent practice sessions. That player could be activated to replace an injured player. Otherwise, the team simply has to play short-handed because there's no mechanism to add new players during the playoffs without a rare league approved. Now, based on this information here, they pretty much saying that Caitlin Clark could come back due to this little loophole. If the Fever were truly for the fans and serious about winning a championship, they would let Caitlin come back. Her practice routine shows she's ready, and her return could completely change the team's chances. Because if y'all was really for the fans, and y'all was really for winning a championship, y'all let Caitlin come back. I'm sorry, it's just looking spooky, bro. I just got to be honest. I just gotta keep it real, man. And I ain't gonna get on here and lie to y'all. Now, this is what was said earlier. I made a video about this. You grow to appreciate her because certain doors have opened since she came to the Fever. Teammates admit her presence, even in practice, has transformed the dynamic of basketball, who they were. And then you bring in Caitlin, who changed the world, changed the dynamic of basketball. And as a friend and as a player, you better appreciate her because, you know, certain doors have opened because she's come to the Fever, and you have to respect that. And I love the teammate impersonating her because she's accepted it with so much grace and even welcomed us with open arms to, you know, make this thing happen. So I think it just took a lot of big pieces. Over the weekend, the WNBA fined Caitlin Clark almost 3,700 pesos. Even while training hard, she faces league pushback, showing how her influence draws attention everywhere. The WNBA fined Caitlin Clark almost 3,700 pesos. Now, most WNBA players refer to that as their annual salary. But for Caitlin Clark, she will make $200 by the time I finish this sentence. This season has been unbelievable because even with their best player injured, the Fever reached new heights. The team knows if Caitlin Clark were practicing and playing, their ceiling would be even higher. But I'd say they are probably, if they make the finals, I'd say they will be kicking themselves. I'd say this organization will be like, why did we not just do it? We just assumed. We just assumed we weren't making the finals. But at the end of the day, like, this is win or lose, make the finals or lose now. This one of the greatest seasons in history because your best player gets injured. They're saying Caitlin Clark herself might not even want to play, but fans believe her routine proves otherwise. For the Fever, her presence could mean the difference between just competing and truly dominating. Do I believe Kayla Clark is going to come back? No. Do I believe that the league is going to allow her to come back? No, and to me it's wrong, bro. If she could play, let her play. But it seemed like Caitlin herself might not even want to play, bro. I don't know. But if the Indiana Fever, for God's sake, win the WNBA championship, Kayla Clark is going to be deemed a champion, right? Under the current WNBA rules, an inactive player like Caitlin Clark can be activated to replace an injured teammate. Her practice routine going viral has only fueled debate about whether the league is holding her back. And it's crazy this now go with this. So, it's stated under the current WNBA CBA. Once a team submits its playoff roster at the end of the regular season, it is essentially locked in for the postseason. Now, the league's hardship and 7-day contract rules end when the regular season does, so a team can't sign a replacement player or pick someone up off the street once the playoffs begin. Kelsey Mitchell laughed about Caitlin Clark's tweet, saying her humor is just how she supports the team. Even in practice, Caitlin's energy brings positivity that haters twist into negativity. Love it, because as much people don't know this about Caitlin, but she has an unbelievable, funny sense of humor. And so I think the tweet was the tweet, but you just have to know Cece to know that it's just nothing but love coming from that kid. And her energy and her effort to just kind of support our team is just her way of doing it. Caitlin Clark was fined $200 for saying refs couldn't stop us. A small comment from Practice Hype turned into controversy, showing how the league and haters can't handle her spotlight. I know $200 is a lot of money for the minimum wage earners in the WNBA, but for Caitlin Clark and just about anyone else living above the poverty line, $200 is chump change. They literally left an open playoff roster spot yet didn't put Caitlin Clark on it. Fans argue her drills proved she was ready, but critics say the Fever played it safe, igniting even more backlash online. Could put Caitlin Clark on the playoff roster and just have her injured, but have her injured coming back? But she's not on the roster. They literally did not fill their roster. So there's no chance that they are playing Caitlin Clark, and there's zero chance. Even if it is possible that she plays by coming in for an injury, they're not going to do it because if they had any consideration of doing that, they would just put her on the roster. If the Fever win the WNBA championship without Caitlin Clark on the floor, some will call her first ring illegitimate. This is exactly why her insane training sessions breaking the internet frustrate her haters even more. In that run, our bench came in and provided some really, really good minutes. Really just proud of, Sophie coming back, being able to contribute like she did, plus 31 tonight. She was a big part of that run. So I think just being able to trust 1 through 11, 1 through 10, that we're going to go out there, have each other's back, and we're going to work through those tough times because New York's a really good team. They're going to go on runs. They're going to have those moments where we can't stop them for a period of time, but it's how do we fix that? How do we change that momentum? And just really proud, of our group for staying with it. Could this be Caitlin Clark getting ready to make a comeback? Just wait till we get Caitlin back. That's what everyone's saying. Refs couldn't stop us. I think Caitlin Clark, even at 60%, would massively help this team. If Caitlin Clark comes back, this will be epic. Pretty much guarantee us winning the championship. That's just what I'm hearing, because Dantas will be the player that got hurt and making it eligible for Kaylin to come back. There's even more there's more pressure, but there's even more in next year being oh, yeah, let's wait till we get Caitlin back. After one of the Felines' victories, Caitlin Clark got on Instagram and said, refs couldn't stop us. That's 6. Even a 60% adding Caitlin Clark would massively, massively help this team. Caitlin Clark's grind has shaken the league, inspired the fans, and silenced no haters. The story isn't over yet. Stay tuned. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more updates.